Good morning, everyone. My name is Paul, and I am a nerd, and you are lucky enough to be here for the June 2019 Coffee Pot webinar series, where today we are talking to Phil Nieves from NetDocuments about the new NetDocuments integration into PracticeMaster. So without any further ado, I'm going to introduce Phil Nieves, who is with NetDocuments in their sales team. And he is going to tell us a little bit about himself, a little bit about NetDocuments as a company, and then show us some introductory stuff on how it works. When he's all done, I'll show you how the integration works. So Phil, are you there? Can you hear me?
I sure am. Thanks, Paul.
There we go.
And thank you for inviting me to this webinar, and excited to be in front of everybody here.
No problem.
And very, very much wanting to show how NetDocuments is making impact in the legal world. And so just a little bit about me, just very briefly. I've been with NetDocuments for about 3 years now, and this has been an awesome portion of my career in getting into the world of legal technology, and there's been so much to learn. And I've met a lot of great people, some of the smartest people I've ever known. I've been here at NetDocuments, and just the attorneys, the consultants I work with, and the people surrounded at the company itself. So it's been phenomenal. It's been a great experience for me. And so just a couple of things that I want to show today, and mainly just want to show how NetDocuments will really encompass the different users and how you can interact with it. So Paul, I'm going to go ahead and let's say click this screen here. Folks, what I would like to do is, perfect. What I'd like to do is start with my iPad, because really, there's, as I mentioned, I want to show how NetDocuments tries to encompass the way different people work, how they want to interact with the software itself. So for many people, what they do, is just kind of going through their daily routine. When somebody wakes up in the morning, often what's the first thing they reach for? They go for their cell phone. I read an article, I believe it was actually on the Huffington Post, where it said 71% of people sleep next to their phones, and even a majority of those people have their phones in their hand all night long. And so knowing that, well, NetDocuments wanted to encompass those people. How can we reach those people and make this very user-friendly for them? So you should be able to see my screen right now. And before I dive too far into the interaction with NetDocs on the iPad, some of the things we'll cover is NetDocuments as a security. So many reasons firms choose us is for the safety of NetDocuments. For full cloud, and security is very important to us. All your data is encrypted in transit as well as at rest, as well as being a proven method. And part of that proven method comes in as NetDocuments is very much making the effort to encompass all of our different users and how they like to operate. And then ready, NetDocuments feels that we are a platform that is ready for the future, as we are able to integrate with some of the most popular platforms out there, as well as we are consistently trying to improve what we do and improve how we are able to integrate with others, as well as the additions which we have to our platform, new products coming out every other month. All right, so that being said, let's jump over to, you'll see my home screen now. Now, if you're an iOS user or an Android user, we have apps available for both those applications, for both those cell phones or iPads and tablets. I got my phone here. If I want to find NetDocuments very quickly, I just simply click on the app. Okay, and right away I'm brought to, you see on the far left-hand side of this screen, here's my home page for this app. Now, could you access NetDocuments via something like Safari or Google Chrome? Yes, but for me, if I'm going to check my bank account, I wouldn't necessarily go online. I just want to go to the app. It's quick, easy. I can sign in there very easily. So that's why we've created this app, and it looks and feels like an app should. Go to my home page. Now, if I want to select a document because I want to review it very quickly, I can literally just click on it right here, and here you'll see, a quick glimpse. I can preview this document. There's a good-looking guy in this document itself. If I want to now be able to make changes to the document, again, there's a selection up top here. click on that, that opens me up right over to Microsoft Word, where I can then make changes to the document itself. So very seamless in that how I can interact with the app and the document itself and migrating data over here. Now, if I want to make changes to this document, again, make changes here, and I just can save this right back into NetDocuments just from my iPad or iPhone if I would like to. So the mobility is certainly there. It's meant to be very user-friendly. All the capabilities, which I'll show you here shortly as far as how to interact with the app and NetDocuments, I can do even from my cell phone. Okay.
Do I make any money off this super putty patent? Or?
We'll have to talk about this offline, Paul, but
Okay.
yes, certainly. All righty. So some of that quick interaction, again, you know, it's where people use their cell phones so much and they want that mobility anymore. This is where a lot of my attorneys are asking for, hey, I want to be able to access NetDocuments whenever, wherever I can, and I need to be able to have a lot of that functionality I would expect while I'm in the office. Well, great. Now you can do that. Create documents, share them, edit them, all that from your devices. Now let's actually jump over, because I don't want to spend too much more time just on the iPad itself. It's pretty straightforward. Let me click over to my actual desktop. Okay. Now, Paul, are you able to see my screen okay? Just want to make sure that transition moved over correctly.
We are. We're on the desktop version or the web version of NetDocuments.
Fantastic. Very well. So what you are looking at here is the NetDocuments homepage, landing page, wherever you might want to call it. When I log into my computer, I open NetDocuments. As you can see, I'm accessing this through Google Chrome right now. If you're a Mac user, Safari, Firefox, Mozilla, Microsoft Edge, any of those different web browsers will work with NetDocuments. Now for me, as I get to the office, I want to be able to access data that's important to me very quickly, which is why we've created this homepage. And I can, wherever I am with the account itself, I can go quickly to different client matters. You'll see these little stars next to these different file folders. What that is basically, as people are used to with searching on Google or Safari, they can favorite pages, they can favorite items. So same concept with NetDocuments. I can favorite a client matter that I'm working with. So as soon as I log in, it's right there just a click away for me to access. Now, we'll just pretend for a second that I'm Paul. I'll just say I'm Paul's assistant, Paul's the attorney, and Paul knows I just started with the firm, and he knows, oh, Phil's going to need to have access to this client file folder right away. So in order to simplify things for me, he can right-click over that star, and then he can add this to another person's homepage. So he could say, yep, I'm going to help Phil get up to speed very quickly. I'll go ahead and add this to his homepage. That way, when I log in as an assistant, there it is right there. I can quickly access it. Now it's on my homepage as well. And also, as part of customizing the homepage, I can create these different subcategories, as you see here, and I can click and drag and move documents around. I can create sections that are more of a reminder for me or different attorneys within the firm that I'm working with. Great way to keep your data organized, and again, have that quick accessibility to anything you want to, just a click away. Now, often, when I talk to attorneys, one of the things they ask me to help them resolve is, I want to find documents quickly. How can I quickly find that document? And if I don't know where I've saved that document to, how do I get there? Well, so what you'll do is you'll just come to this section up top here. This is our kind of, we say it's our Google type search bar. It's meant to be very Google-esque, and that basically anybody who can use Google or Yahoo can use NetDocuments to search for documents. I can come up top here, I can type in any word I would like to, and just simply hit enter. Now you also notice that when I was typing that word, there was two options here below that allow me to search for documents either by name, subject line if there's an email, or I can do an everything search, which basically means I'm not only looking through the title or subject lines, I'm actually looking through the actual context of the document itself. So for those who work with a lot of PDF files and want to know, okay, I've got these documents, we're scanning them all the time. Can I look for those as well? Absolutely. NetDocuments has built-in OCR so that as you are saving your PDF files into NetDocuments, now you can search through your PDF files at the same time. And if I were to click next to one of these documents, you can see a little window pane pops up over here, giving some details about the document itself, who last created, who last modified it, where it's actually being saved to. I can also preview the document itself. Click the preview pane, scroll down through here, verify, is this document I'm actually looking for? If not, then maybe it's back to searching. Now, by typing in a word as broad as the word agreement, that gives me over 2,000 different files to look through. Well, I don't have that kind of time of day to search through this page by page. If you were to ask Google, they'd say most people don't get past the first or second page when they run a search. And so we pretty much account that's going to be the same thing with our users in searching with NetDocuments. So in order to speed up the search process or narrow my search results down, I can come over to this far left-hand side, and I can just click on one of these drop-down arrows. Now I'm actually going to narrow my search results down by just applying additional information. So for those who are familiar with online shopping, maybe you're an Amazon or eBay user, now you can apply your shopping skills to finding documents very quickly. So I can come over here to something basic like file extension. Well, we'll just say I know the document I'm looking for actually is a PDF file. And maybe I know by chance, oh, let's see, it was modified by somebody within the last week. I can click in that section and apply that to my search. So again, taking those kind of things where you're maybe on Amazon looking for those certain pair of shoes, you know, it's a certain brand, male, female, here's the size, same kind of concept, except now I'm just using it to look for documents, and I can look for them very quickly. So it's just a couple of clicks, find the document I'm looking for, nothing too out of the ordinary. Now, a lot of times my clients will say, okay, well, there's a certain kind of search I'll run frequently. Do I have to put that in every single time? The answer to that is no. I can come over here and I can actually save my search results. So I can plug in certain criteria, save that search, and then every time I can log into NetDocuments, I can click on this link I have to my homepage, and I just am brought to an updated list of the documents that fall under that criteria. So it's a great way to, A, find an easy search, and then B, I can use it again in the future and just save myself time. All right, so that's some of the searching side of NetDocuments. A lot of times my clients will say, all right, Phil, well, that sounds great, but you know, a lot of times I know where my documents are being saved, so how do I get to there very quickly? Well, if that's the case, if you know where your documents are being stored or which client or matter it might fall under, then just come over to this far right-hand side. There's a button that says Go to a Matter. And I can just type in part of my client name. NetDocuments is going to do a lot of the thinking for me. It'll start to fill in information. As well as if I come over here to this right-hand side under the matter, I can type in just a portion of the matter number I might be looking for. And again, NetDocuments will help me find that document. So a great and easy way to be able to navigate to a specific client matter or an account by chance you might be looking for. Now you can easily locate it. Now that search bar, as you'll notice up top here, doesn't go away. It's always in the same spot. So if you go to your client's account and now I want to be able to find a document within that file, great. I can run a search right within this client matter that I'm looking at right now. But what you're looking at here is the NetDocuments, what we call a workspace. So if I want to now find a document within here, make changes to it, and save it back in, well, what you're looking at here is I can locate the documents under these subcategories or filters or buckets or document types, as some will call them. This is our summary view of this client file. And I could, if I'd like to, expand this section here. And now I can just come over here to the particular client or subcategory or document type and just simply scroll through these different categories and find the document I might be looking for. Now, so for some of my clients, they're like, hey, I like that, but you know, I'm kind of more used to something more you might consider old school. So how can I get that view? So just to toggle away, click on this button over here. Now I'm brought to a list view, which this list view is also customizable. So if you would prefer your documents to be listed alphabetically, alphanumerically, great. Then you can customize this view as well as a user specific to you, not as a firm-wide modification, but it's you as a user, how you feel most comfortable navigating and finding your documents. Now, if I were to actually want to interact with one of these documents now, I've found the subsection I'm looking for. I now want to make changes to it again. How do I interact with the documents themselves? So we're going to go ahead and click on this document up top here. You'll notice a little green check mark appears over that little icon. If I hover over it like I am right now, it's saying this is currently checked out to Phil. The reason I like to point that out is a lot of times attorneys will tell me, well, we've got problems where people will override each other's work. He'll have the document, I'll have the document, we're all making changes to it. How do we simplify that process? So here's a great way in which I can check out the document to me specifically. Now, if Paul were to try to access the document itself, he would actually get a notification saying, oh, no, currently it's checked out to Phil. You'll have to wait till he puts it back into NetDocuments. So again, going back into this same kind of document you're looking at before, except without Paul's photo now. If I were to make changes to this document, want to make some changes to it here, how do I save it right back in NetDocuments? Well, it's actually fairly straightforward. For people who are used to working within Microsoft Word, great, don't reinvent the wheel when you use NetDocuments. I can come up top here and hit save, and this will simply override the current version I'm working with. Or if I want to create some track changes, I want there to be a new version, I simply click on Save As. You'll notice up top here, little NetDocuments logo appearing there. A little box down here is also checked in, indicating I'm going to say this is a new version. So I simply make my changes, hit save, and it goes right back into NetDocuments. Now, just very briefly, I'm just going to scroll down here just a little bit and point this out and just zoom in here just slightly. Hopefully everyone can see it now. At the bottom of this document, there is a 12-digit ID. So everything you save in NetDocuments it will be assigned its own 12-digit ID. As well as you'll see a little indication here saying V4. What that is what we are looking at now is version 4 of this document. So I made changes to it, hit save, create a new document. How do I get this back into NetDocuments? Well, I just simply hit the X, and it just checks itself right back into NetDocuments. Now, a lot of my clients, the next question they'll ask is, well, okay, that's great, but what happened to all my prior versions? Can I still access them? Are they still available? The answer to that is yes. I can come up top here. There's a little icon, a little lettering here saying V4. If I click on that, now you'll see the different versions that are still available for this document. I could go back through. I could click the version 3 if I wanted to and compare that with version 4. My clients also like knowing if there's a particular version of a document, and I feel like that is the one that is client-facing. Is there a way to mark that? And again, the answer to that is yes. I could take version 3, mark that the official version. That way, if I ask somebody to send this document to the client, by default, this is the document that they will send out. And just gives that little extra capability to kind of ensure, hey, we're not going to send the redlined or marked up version of this document. Here's the one that we feel is ready to be sent out. That's the official version that we want to be defaulted to. So that's just covering a little bit about the searching side of NetDocuments, as well as how to version documents. The other portions I would just show very quickly would be just how do I get a brand new document into NetDocuments? Because people actually, well, this is something they worry about. You've showed me existing documents, but what about one that's brand new? How do I take that? Well, great. So let me show you a couple of things how you can, again, interact with Microsoft Office Suite. So if I wanted to take a brand new document, and I'm just going to use a little coding trick to throw in some random paragraphs in here. Want to take this brand new document, I've worked on it all this time, how do I get it to NetDocs? Well, just hit save. And that document pops right up. Now I can save this document into the system very easily. Now, I, as a user of NetDocuments, will have quick access to any client matter I've been recently working with. So it does a lot of that thinking ahead for me, where I can select the client matter I've been working with. Here's those document types I was showing you earlier, where I can select one. Or you can create templates. So if I want to save myself some clicks, I can create templates, select the template I'm looking for, it fills in this information, save it right into NetDocuments. What you're looking over here on this far hand side is NetDocuments profiling the document, as well as applying metadata. It's applying information to the document itself, so I can easily locate it or search for it later on. Now, one thing my clients like knowing is, well, hey, we've got multiple practice areas in our firm. So do the litigators see everything, those who are working real estate? Well, you can. Now, if I were to click on this document itself here, I could select something like litigation, for example, and the document type becomes what I'm used to as a litigator in locating the particular document. So I can find something like agreement, take that, and now save that into NetDocuments, and I just simply have to apply my current file name, how I want this to be listed within the document management system itself. So that's how I can take a brand new document, I can profile it, save it right in NetDocuments with just a couple of clicks, or I can use the tools to quickly add that information in, and it saves it right into the system for me. Now, lastly, just a couple of different ways of how, as I mentioned, our goal is that we want to really encompass how different people work. So for a handful of my attorneys, they love seeing this interface, which you're looking at right now. They feel like, hey, yep, I can adopt that. It's very user-friendly. I can run a search through here. I have others that are they're a little more hesitant. They might tell me, hey, you know what, Phil, I think it looks great, but you know what, I'll never use it. Why not? Well, because I'm used to using something like Windows Explorer or File Explorer. So can you help me out? The answer is yes. I can click on Windows Explorer. If I were just to back up here just a little bit, this is a familiar view for many people. They click on Windows Explorer, File Explorer, and here's NetDocuments there as well. So I can select NetDocuments, I can find client matters that I've been working with, and find again those documents that I've been also saving in here, and find a document in particular, work on it, save it back into NetDocuments just like I normally would. So for the different users, this is how we try to encompass them. If they like the user interface, great, go ahead and use it. If they like File Explorer, great. So with our syncing capability, sync your client files with your desktop, and now you can have access to them from within here as well. And the nice thing about syncing them here, obviously, is that if you're what they might call a road warrior or you travel a lot, if you're in or out of office, you can sync your client matters with your laptop, desktop, whatever it might be. If I completely disconnect from internet access, I can still click on that document or client documents, make changes to it, save, and then once I reconnect to the internet, our syncing software will automatically push the changes you've made right back up into the cloud. As far as a use case of accessibility, great. Go ahead and use that. And lastly, one thing I didn't show earlier when discussing how to find documents, if you're used to working within Microsoft Word and you want to be able to find documents there as well, then you can certainly still do that as well. Jump into Microsoft Word, recent documents you personally have been working with within NetDocuments will appear here. I can also find them under my different client file matters on this far left-hand side. And I can have full searching capability over here as well, where I can search for a document, and I can have an advanced search option here as well, where I want to find a particular document I saved in NetDocuments. I can search here while still within Microsoft Word. So that's just a brief summary of NetDocuments as far as the user interface and how to access, search for documents, save them in that I wanted to show you today. If you have any questions for me, please let me know, but that's what I got for you today, Paul.
Awesome. Well, I'm going to take control, and before I show the integration, I want to point out to people that there are two other key areas that we will be covering in next month's and in the July and the August Coffee Pot webinars. Next month, I believe we're talking about ND Mail and all of its tight integration into Outlook for filing of emails. And the month after, we're having Phil back a third time to talk about the collaborative tools that are built into NetDocuments. So there's more to NetDocuments. This is kind of an introductory view. But with that said, I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. And I am going to show you how this fits into PracticeMaster. Okay. Now, one thing to remember is there's two ways that it integrates, and you don't have to even be a user of PracticeMaster if you don't need the second way. The first way is if a matter or a new client, new matter is added to tabs or PracticeMaster, they will instantly show up in NetDocuments. Also, if you change a client's name or change the work description, those changes will also be pushed over to NetDocuments automatically. Now, while I'm talking about that, I want to point out that the setup is very easy, and only one administrative user needs to make that connection. So unlike the other integration that we have into another document management system, the NetDocuments integration only need be set up for the one user, and then all users, no matter whether they've set it up individually, all users use that main throughway into NetDocuments. And so that makes it A, very easy to set up, and B, it means that it doesn't get turned off, okay? Sometimes in the other integration that we have built into PracticeMaster, a user can get that integration turned off by mistake. Then when they add a matter, it's not going over to document management. That's not going to happen. So that's significant, and not all that exciting from a user standpoint, but at least from a knowing that your users as an administrator are always going to be pushing their matter descriptions and their new matters and new clients over to NetDocuments. That's and again, you don't have to be a PracticeMaster user. You can be in tabs. Your firm does not really have to be using PracticeMaster. You do have to have one user license that you would install, and it would be there to facilitate the connection. But adding a matter in tabs, adding a client in tabs will do the same thing as long as you've got that one single PracticeMaster license set up and configured to push these things through the NetDocuments. The other way that it integrates is that when you are in the client file or the matter manager, let's go to the client file, you have NetDocuments integration built in here. So if you're in PracticeMaster and you're looking at a client, let's go to Michael Larson's ADA employment issue because I know it's got some NetDocuments documents. So you're in here, you're looking at the budget, you're looking at the people who are on the matter, you're making a note, and you're like, okay, I need to go look at NetDocuments documents, okay? Right up here, well, down here, View NetDocuments Workspace. Click that, bam, we load up NetDocuments, and we show you the workspace for this particular matter, and of course, all the documents that are tied to that matter. So that's the other point of integration, is that when you're in PracticeMaster and you're working within a matter, or you just want to find the documents and you go to that matter in PracticeMaster, this integration is ready for you to take you to that workspace. Now, something else that will bring those documents to you that's new and only available in this particular integration, this integration with NetDocuments, is this. We also bring the documents into the PracticeMaster folder structure, or should I say tab structure, so that when you are highlighting a specific matter, you will have a NetDocuments tab that when you click it, goes out to NetDocuments and gets all those documents. So same 4 documents that we just saw in the NetDocuments infrastructure are also being pulled through to PracticeMaster so that I can see them directly within PracticeMaster, and so that I can build my own column layouts, my own filtering, and my own quick views against those NetDocuments documents from within PracticeMaster. So for instance, for those of you that are familiar with quick views in PracticeMaster, I've created a couple. I have one by creator. I only have one creator, but here's all the documents that were created by Paul Purdue. If we had more creators of those documents, they'd show up down here. We'd be able to switch between them. And I've created one called by file type that shows me those documents broken down by the file type. There's the docx files, there's the PDF files. You could build these by document types, not file types, but document types. You could build them by moderate, who last modified the document. Right now, I've got these set to sort by modified date in descending order. So a lot of cool things going on right within PracticeMaster. Those are the 3 levels of integration. pushing clients' matters and changes to their matter descriptions and client names out to NetDocuments, showing the workspace and the ability to get to the workspace straight from within PracticeMaster's client and matter manager screens, and this new thing that people have never seen before with other integration that we have with document management, this ability to have a tab right there. Now, of course, if you're using NetDocuments for document management, you would not have a document tab because that's the PracticeMaster document management tab, and so we would simply remove that. And that's that. That's how the integration into NetDocuments works. Now remember, next month, NetDocuments email, ND mail, plus the standard integration into Outlook, and then the month after, the collaborative tools. Now we all know, of course, that this wouldn't be an Attorney Computer Systems Coffee Pot webinar if I didn't take you to attorneycomputersystems.com. And notice the emphasis when I say attorneycomputersystems.com, because without that last S, you won't get to the right place. If you click on the word videos, you'll be taken to our page that describes all of our video titles. And we have 6 of them. You'll notice the first 3 are live, or first 4 are live events. You're currently in a Coffee Pot webinar. Right now, we have 3 virtual user groups that also meet on a monthly basis, usually on the last Monday of the month. I suspect that very soon we'll add a 4th and perhaps even a 5th as we're bringing in the NetDocuments product and the CosmoLex product, which is something totally different that we won't go into. But right now, we have a tabs, PracticeMaster and WorldDocs virtual user group meeting, plus our Coffee Pot webinars. We also have 2 pre-recorded video titles that are not live events. Mary Jo has her eBytes video series where we record an eByte each month on each of those 3 products, tabs, PracticeMaster, and WorldDocs. Again, we will very soon be adding eBytes on NetDocuments and eBytes on CosmoLex. And then we have the Paul and Mary Jo, I'm sorry, these eBytes videos are very short. They're 2 or 3 minutes long. We take something really cool about one of the products and that we think we can explain extremely quickly and get that point across very quickly. And we recorded an eByte video about it. The 2 or 3 minute video is very short. For things that take longer to explain or broader topics or things we want to dive deeper into, we have the Paul and Mary Jo show, where either I or Mary Jo will take a topic and spend 10, 15, sometimes 20 minutes on it, getting into a deep dive sort of situation and really exploring all the different options in whatever it is that we're talking about. We record one of those each month, so we kind of alternate. I will record one month, Mary Jo will record one the next month. If we click into the Coffee Pot Webinars More button, you will see that we have the name of the title, a brief description of what it is. If it's a live event, usually we'll have the next thing. Right now, where Patty's probably changing that right now. So this will show you what the next event is, a brief description of what's going on, a form to register. And then as you scroll down, you will find pre-recorded versions of, or recorded versions of every other live event that we've had in that category. So you can pretty much scroll through here and go through the pages until you get to the very end and see everything we've done in that particular title. You can also simply click on this magnifying glass, type something. Maybe we're looking for NetDocuments. And as we type, it'll pull up things that it thinks might be interesting. And we can also hit enter and go to a full list of all results. And there we are. So please take advantage of these videos. We have somewhere between 800 and 900 videos on our website. I guess I'm going to have to count soon because I think we're getting close to 900 and I'm going to have to change that. But nonetheless, we have a lot of videos on our website. They are available to you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year, and they are absolutely free. So please take advantage of them. Get a glass of wine, sit in front of the fireplace with your iPad, and watch a video about NetDocuments. That's it for today. Everybody have a good rest of the day, good rest of the month, and we'll see you next month when we talk about ND Mail and the mail integration into Outlook from NetDocuments. Thanks much, everybody. Thanks, Phil. Everybody have a good day.